Miller has air forces over the enemy biolab and Ickenham Garrison. We don't see any Reavers, or we see some, but I don't think they're going to... Oh wait, no. Looks like Ceres has brought in a first air force. They're going to try and contend the air now over the biolab. I'm guessing since the organisation of just the strength in numbers, they must have gone back and just all pulled. Got Liv being chased by Reaver, and some friendly Scythe trying to follow him, but he's gonna burning up! Pull out, man! Oh no! Oh, that was Goose right there. Goose just died. Okay. We need to give these guys some names. So this one here, this guy's Topper. Oh, Topper's burning. Oh, he's being chased by an enemy Reaver.
Cap on triage station as well, and they looks like they have the population there as well.
Well, judging by what's happening with the biolab, none of the air is having any impact on the ground because they're too busy fighting each other. But it looks like Miller's air force has managed to fend off the push from Ceres, or at least keep them off and out of the sphere of influence. But the thing, notice that all the fighting's happening extremely high because there's a lot of Skyguards and a lot of ground lock-on weaponry that's going on. Now, Ickenham Triage Station, as you were saying, is being attacked, or they're trying to be a defensive attack by Ceres infantry. Inside, we've got another defensive hold by Miller infantry, and again, rinse and repeat, lots of explosives and Super Wonder Jackhammer being used as well. Explosives being used to kill off the Miller infantry. I don't think the Miller infantry realizes they're getting flanked from the side by shotguns and jackhammers. Mr. Max, pay attention to your right! Oh dear. Alright, now he finally sees it. It's too late, all the infantry's been picked off. They've flipped the cap point back. Max is not going to be able to do anything here.
The VS, however, seem to have managed to gain the upper hand at Ickenham Garrison. They are now 1 minute 47 away from capping that. They're back on the point. It's capping in their favor.
The Ceres guys really need to leave their armor and join the guys on the ground and push that A point back, because if the VS do manage to capture the triage station, those vanguards, those lightnings aren't really going to be any help, and the Miller moving to the biolab.
Yeah, we're seeing some Ceres armor and some, you know, lightnings and vanguard and whatnot, but they can't interfere with this infantry fight going on. So Miller right now has more infantry on the ground. They've got the capture point, and they're contesting between the spawn room and the capture point. Their vanguards there trying to interfere, but he's an armor-piercing vanguard. He has to have an extremely good aim, otherwise he's not going to do anything. Right, so Ceres Air Force seem to be in control over the airspace of Ickenham Garrison, so they're trying to do some bombing runs. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and that was the timer warning, so we now have 55 seconds, 50 seconds, 52, 51, 50 seconds now for Ickenham Garrison. There needs to be a really... The problem is that there isn't the same proximity this time of Ceres at the capture point. They can't do that sort of last second everyone charge maneuver. They're too far away and too spread out to make a difference at the moment.
"30 seconds on that Ickenham Garrison cap for the Miller VS.
And even if they don't have a Sunderland, they might... Okay, there are some Venu Sanders, but they're not deployed, but it doesn't matter. They've got enough infantry live and they have enough squad beacons that it's not going to make a difference. Alright, last second drop. Very last second drop here by Ceres infantry. Are they going to be able to get inside and stop the cap? The capture point is on the ground floor. The max is there. It's not enough.
VS
too many maxes, too many infantry.
That VS have people in the biolab. Let's see if they can get a cap on it.
Just for the guys watching this stream, with the capture of Ickenham Garrison, Ceres are now down to the last 3 hexes, with Miller having
10.
There are some
10 hexes.
Yeah, we've got some. Yep, they're flipping B point, and that's all that really matters. Enough to flip B. And the important thing here is, am I right by saying that if the hack, no, it needs to be ownership of Icannum, so they can still save Icannum triage regardless. But they've got B. It's only going to last for a fleeting moment, which you can see is only an infantry. But it does mean that Icannum garrison, it doesn't look like it's going to be contested anyway. But we'll go have a look again.
Now this is the worst case scenario for Ceres, because as I said, Miller can just pile everybody on the biolab and start pushing forward, and even if Ceres has people who go
they've still got firm control
of
the capture point at the garrison. There's no risk of them losing it, especially now that they've got the spawn room. They're just going to hold on to their territory, maybe focus it on killing off anywhere nearby spawns. But the thing is, with the jump pads and teleporters, you know, anytime Ceres can jump back in and get aggression. If I was Miller, I'd maybe focus on defending Icannum with at least one squad or two squads, or just holding on for a while and forcing Icannum triage station, and that way having both points into the Icannum biolab and then take it, rather than just going straight into the biolab. Because if you can get the 2 points and then start hacking Icannum biolab, then you've got all their attention just in the biolab, and they can't attack either lane, so you can keep all your forces in one area. In terms of the air, it looks like there's still a raging battle going on between Scythe and Reaver. Two Scythes taking on one Reaver. Reaver does have flares, which means he doesn't have countermeasures. Oh, he's being dumbfire rocketed. He's burning and he's gone. He's outnumbered 3-1 though. Doesn't look like he could have done anything. Are the Miller forces moving up? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're still staying around the Icannum garrison in terms of numbers. Oh, they just got a large drop on the triage station. They are flipping the point. It is now Vanu. Miller's another squad's got themselves. Not that many this time. Only a couple of infantry troopers. Oh, look at this. Is that? Oh, okay. That must be a Vanu infiltrator. Yeah, it is. Okay, you all saw that, I saw that, and we'll just move on. We're looking at the numbers here. It's nearly 50-50 in the biolab. It doesn't look like Miller's going to make any difference at the Icannum garrison. Sorry, Ceres, because they don't have enough people. They've got 39%. Thing is, if you're Ceres, right, do you commit to trying defending the Icannum triage station, or do you stay and defend the biolab and then try and push back Icannum garrison?
We're approaching the 30-minute mark left in this match, and I just want to go over the rules again since there are questions in chat about it. The main push everyone is making for is to capture the home base of the empires. So for instance,
the Icannum motor pool.
Ceres is Icannum motor pool, VS Miller is Sungray Overwatch. That is the victory condition. If somebody captures that base, the match is over regardless how much time is left. If both of those bases do not fall, the victor is based upon who owns the most territory at the end.
Unlike last weekend's game where we had a certain death mode, just to reinforce that this is our test season and we are just trying to try new things. Our lane is not finalised, our game type's not finalised.
There's an interesting fight going on at Icannum triage station. 2 maxes from Ceres came in and they had cleared up the defense. Then some hero medics from Miller came in and C4'd the maxes. But now it looks like there's a squad of Ceres flipping back the capture point and they've got control again. The problem is they've basically outnumbered the enemy 2-1 here. Oh, well, maybe not. 50-50 on the numbers. So where's the rest of the VS? They're pushing back in from the outside. Perhaps they've come in from a squad beacon, or no, it's the sun underneath the bridge again that the Ceres Liberator's trying to interfere with. It means that
Miller really doing well, putting that pressure on, that constant defensive pressure, while also trying to reach out, trying to get that triage station.
Oh, they've taken back the capture point though. That's impressive, given the number of Ceres that were here. It's probably the fact that they outnumbered them in maxes, brought 3 to the 1 Ceres max. So they've got themselves re-established again on the Icannum triage station. It is 2 minutes and 50 till it goes through. They're slightly underpopped at Ickenham Biolab, so they're probably being spawn camped in the teleport buildings or being fought at the airpad. And the Ickenham garrison itself is 50-50, so Miller has to keep defending it because Ceres is pushing. We're going to go have a look now.
We're now under 30 minutes left remaining in this match.
Well, it looks like the capture point for Ickenham garrison is safe. Doesn't look like there's any kind of NC from Ceres close enough. Oh, I see where we go. So this is where the numbers are. They've got themselves a Sundra deployed to the
and
north
we do have a
south.
capture inside the biolab, the VS.
Do they actually have A point or enough points?
We have, well, Miller have B point. Quite a considerable VS force on the big stairs, little stairs. Standard biolab, gen room hold.
Oh, so they're working on the SU generator. Yes, they are. So they're working on the SU generator. 1 minute to go. It doesn't look like enough. I mean, if Ceres wanted to, they could come in here and crash this quite easily. But they're going to have to pull back forces from other theatres where they're currently fighting. They've got a good strong push going for Ickenham Garrison, trying to cap that. But that won't matter. If they don't take B point, they cannot attack Ickenham Garrison. They need all 3 capture points. So actually, this is great for Miller at Ickenham Garrison. They don't need to be there. They need to pull all of their forces away from Ickenham and just go straight into the biolab and get the 2 and hold on to the capture point, because that's all that matters. That way, the Ickenham Garrison's safe. And only 1 minute 20 now until Ickenham Triage Station goes through as well. They don't need to, defend that, but it would make a lot of sense as well. Ceres really has their back to the wall now.
This is Dosso, and I'll call. There's less than 30 minutes left of this match. Less than 30 minutes of this match.
I'll be surprised if this goes to 30 minutes, to be honest.
If I were NC, I would basically take all of my people and put them in scat maxes and take back a biolab the way that we know the NC can take back a biolab at this point.
It's a beautiful double Fury Sunder.
Scat max debate, please.
With, I think that's a high explosive or heats Vanguard all pointing at the door. Looks like Miller.
Ceres making a massive scat mash push onto the shield gen room now in the biolab.
Oh, we're going to go check that out then.
Ceres obviously wanting to try and get rid of that advanced Miller force before the rest of the Miller team arrive to reinforce.
Triage has 30 seconds left on its cap, and Miller will.
It's a lot of pressure though.
And once that triage goes through, that's going to be another avenue for Miller to really get behind this current NC push onto this shield gen room.
Well, the generator protecting the SU is down. The NC Ceres maxes have pushed in from small stairs and they've killed a bunch of the infantry, but it's only infantry. The maxes are still up, and they're just taking pot shots from the different doorways.
It seems like the majority of the NC maxes are on the little stairs.
Oh, they're doing the max push now on the big stairs. They had a charge in. We've got one Scar max.
Miller now owns both connections.
Infantry.
A low mana turret trying to defend against the maxes.
Nice work at Ickenham Triage, and the fact is Ickenham Triage is now safe because they have a capture point at Ickenham Biolab. So all of the NC here at Ickenham Triage Station, pointless. They can't do anything. So really it now is up to Miller to get everybody they have into the biolab, and so long as they hold 1 point, Ceres can't go anywhere.
The A point at the A point teleport room for Miller has just been opened up. They could really start pushing A point now and really start spawn camping.
They need to spawn in there though, that's the problem. So Ceres have now managed to get all their 3 capture points. They already have the base, so there's no timer, so they can instantly recap now. Ceres doesn't have anybody at Ickenham Garrison, so Miller's got that under control. The Ickenham Triage Station's more up to date, but they still have plenty of people. Okay, so the cap points now started at Ickenham Triage. Miller can still attack though the biolab if they want to, obviously from the north.
The thing is, Ceres, even though they are on the defensive, they can't really start to think defensive. They really need to start pushing out of the biolab, make it a cohesive effort to really push Miller back, because if they stay as they are now, then they're not going to win.
The cap that was at Ickenham Triage has been stopped. There must have been just an infiltrator, so there's plenty of Miller there to stop that. Miller can now take the jump pad or the teleport building. Looks like they've got air dominance. Doesn't look like there is much, if any, Ceres Air Force. It's possible that they've all gone to ground.
Miller has managed to resecure that triage station back cap on them, and now they have both access to the Conum again.
Not sure why they need mag riders defending on the ground. Maybe they want to stop the the Sunders and the Vanguards coming out from the biolab itself. And they got themselves right. So Miller's got himself Charlie, which means that Ceres cannot attack any other base again. But they're flipping it back. Looks like that was just an infiltrator attack. Population-wise, it's still 2-to-1 in favor of Ceres on the biolab. So Miller isn't pushing in yet. In any concerted force. We've got about just under 25 minutes left of the match. I wonder what Miller's up to. I mean, I understand attacking an NC held biolab is everyone's favourite wet dream if you're NC, but there's no reason for them not to, like, you know, stop now, keep pushing. So they're using the jump pads.
The Miller Air Force now is really locking down the biolab, stopping any Ceres reinforcements.
Yeah, and we can see that the Miller infantry is taking the jump pads rather than the teleport room, trying to get control of the air pads. I'm not sure why Ceres wants to run out to the air pads. I gotta say, it is somewhat reminiscent of live servers in that it's just farm. Although Miller is beginning to push their way in. They're getting a slight edge. If we check the population numbers, it's 54 to 44. Ceres has managed to get themselves a hack on Ichnum Triage Station again, but it's only very small numbers. It looks like it's already been stopped.
I'm surprised Miller is pushing those air pads when they have access to 2 teleporters as well. You would think,
especially the one that's next to Bravo. Although their infantry hasn't, managed to get in. I think that's Miller smoke.
I see a small Miller force in the banana building, getting pretty wiped out by the Ceres mass push.
Yeah, they're getting attacked from behind. Well, I don't know where that max is going. Yeah, so okay, we got some more. Got more incoming maxes from Miller attacking the Ceres max force in Banana Building, coming up from, I guess you could call it the north roundabout way from up the rocks.
Seems that the Miller guys are pretty compact on the A point, and not to mention the balcony at the Banana Building.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm seeing maxes, I'm not seeing engineers or backup medics. Oh, there we go, there's one engineer. So it's more max heavy, they're not going to have the same support. Lots of them pushing in now, so they've definitely got control of Banana Building, although we got a couple of hero NC, medic C4ers. I don't think it'll make any difference though, because they'll just revive their dead max.
And not to mention the Miller squad at the A point's been wiped out, and the NC maxes are really pushing on behind Banana Building. If Miller doesn't move from where they are now, they're going to get pretty much sandwiched between not only the...
Well, they're pushing across now, they're pushing into Bravo, and they're grabbing themselves in Bravo Point. If we look at the other two bases, Ichnum Triage and Ichnum Garrison are both secure, so Ceres are locked in again. They need to get this capture point if they want to make any progress.
Got a few NC maxes really pushing up behind the Miller guys in Banana, while Miller are just repairing the maxes in the Banana room. NC maxes are just having their absolute pants down.
Miller has just a slight advantage on that population in the biolab right now, by a couple of points. But we all know how difficult it is to take a biolab, even with even pop, and especially when you're facing scat maxes from the NC.
Well, the SCU generator has been charged. I wonder if Ceres has lost heart to keep the fight here going on, because even if this biolab falls in favor of Miller, there is still one more base to go for.
We are now under 20 minutes remaining. Under 20 minutes remaining.
Good. 20 minutes and 47, 46, 45. I've got a clock timer running on the stream.
This is Dots on all call. Less than 20 minutes on the match. That's less than 20 minutes on the match. What I need is like one of those like public service announcements, things like ding dong.
For British Rail or whatnot.
Yeah. 50
Well,
minutes on the match. That is 50 minutes on the match.
Yes. Well, then
Ding
you need
dong.
a delay.
Please mind the gap.
Miller has definitely got control of the B building. It's almost the entire 2 platoons are on B for Miller. I think they're going mainly just for the SU generator kill, 20 seconds, and then go for the SU gen itself.
It seems that the Miller guys are going pretty much mana turret crazy on the big stairs. They've got turrets of turrets, literally just a wall of mana turrets.
Lots
They
of
seem to be doing
smoke.
the traditional push for a biolab. Go in, take that generator out, and then push for their SU. That seems to be
But
what
there's
they
so much
decided to
smoke, I
finally
can't
do
really
after
tell
a
what's
while.
going on. Yeah, I mean,
It really makes you think though how the battle could have gone if Ceres was on the Miller's front door at Sungariamp, and how
Well,
different the fight could have been if the
there's a
fight was
lot of Ceres, infantry max forces on all doors. I mean, it's totally surrounded, so you've got whole populations all around this one building. Looks like Ceres has managed to push in pretty hard, grab themselves the lower floor. They've saved the SU generator. Now only Ceres forces are pushing up the big stairs. Miller's only on the top floor. They're being attacked from all sides, but it doesn't look like they've got the numbers here because the respawn is too quick for Ceres to get back. If you're Miller, if you want to get back, they really should be using the teleporter building, which some of them are, but not enough. Again, more smoke. When the Ceres forces are moving up the staircase. How much have we got inside the double doors here? It's very difficult to tell unless I start queuing everything up. So they've still got some forces in the double building on the capture point, but no, it's already going down. Maxes have pushed in. Enemy infantry for Ceres have now pushed on the cap point, they're taking it back. Does not look like Miller is having much luck with the actual biolab. Ceres, as we said earlier, infantry on infantry fighting, they can hold their own. And since we're on a single base rather than 2 lanes, Miller's strength of, flip-flopping from one base to the next base, always attacking Ceres when they're weakest, isn't going to work here because, Ceres only has to defend 1 point. But at the same time, Ceres can farm all they want for the next 18 minutes. It's not going to make any difference because they're going to lose unless they push out. Well, A is now flipping. Oh, and Miller's pushing in from the air pad as well. They're trying to get their hands on Charlie.
I'm glad to see Ceres managed to resecure that biolab. I don't know if they would have been able to live down losing a biolab with scat maxes, so I'm glad to see that they were able to push out the
Well, they've taken back
from the
A.
rooms.
Scaramaxes are not that scary. There are counters to other Scaramaxes. You just need lots and lots of your own maxes. But I agree. You come around a point blank on a corner and you see a max and it wants to give you a hug, and it's the last thing you remember seeing.
It's hard not to root for the guy who's pushed back into the corner at this point.
Okay, so this max here, this is Mr. Krabs from Krabby Patty. Where's he going?
Obviously doesn't like you.
Oh, I think I'm gonna die.
Okay, I think he's a bit camera shy.
Yeah. It looks like they're just sort of devolving into just like a general skirmish. Doesn't look. They don't have any capture points. If you look outside the, nope, there's absolutely nobody at Ickenham Garrison or anybody at Ickenham Triage either. It's all at the biolab, and it's almost a 2-to-1 advantage now for Ceres.
Miller could be regrouping. I mean, they must have found a lot of infantry resource on the maxes just to get in there and have that initial beachhead.
Yep.
So let's see how Miller reacts to reorganisation and get back in there.
Ceres is using smoke. There is a bit of a kind of a light assault. Miller seems to have more light assault flying around the rooftops. I don't see many.
We seem to have a few Miller guys, especially in the triage station, just going around with the dark light looking for any infiltrators, which kind of reminds me of like pyro checkers from Team Fortress 2. Sorry, spy checkers.
So many maxes and C4s and explosives going on. Light assaults just flying over and dropping. Miller's trying to get themselves on A, but the instant they get themselves on a cap point, literally all of the Ceres forces says, oh, you're at A now, well, we'll just come over and say hello.
As long as Miller can keep that pressure on at least one point, then it will put Ceres on the defensive, and Miller does have Ceres on the back foot. And
even if
as long as
Miller,
they keep them where they know they are, then it doesn't really matter
they've got themselves
if Miller
beaten,
can
they're
take
at
or
the SU
not.
gen again. Thing is, even if Miller like split their forces 3 ways perfectly and defended all 3 cap points at the exact same time, Ceres is just like one giant iron fist going from one cap point to the next cap point to the next cap point. You know, take everything back with this like a sledgehammer approach.
And I am currently stuck in a tube.
We're under 15 minutes.
Hold down
remaining in the
shift
match
and
now.
see if you can't rush through, and if you can't, then you just need to get out with the, you know, your exit and then redeploy. Yeah, and also be very careful when you press the warp speed button inside a building with the observer camera. As I demonstrated last week, you get stuck.
What, the warp speed button?
Yeah, it's the shift button while pressing forwards. Yeah, be careful when you use it though. You've been warned. Okay, so I think that's Ceres firing smoke on the entrance points from the air pad. I could be wrong, maybe it's Miller. Yep, Miller's pushed in. They've still got themselves Bravo. The SU generator's got 1 minute to go until it drops. They've got themselves control of Bravo and Charlie. So the question is, where are the Ceres forces? Are they still fighting over A? They've got themselves Charlie surrounded, so where's Ceres? Well, they're moving up to the building now. If we have a quick look at the map, they've tried to make a push for Ickenham Garrison. That's what it is. It's not going to work. So a large number of squad infantry for Ceres has tried to go for the garrison, and unfortunately B and C has been flipped. They're probably waiting there thinking Ceres can save the base, which isn't going to be the case, and now that Ceres force is going to have to redeploy back from Ickenham Garrison and come back to the biolab, otherwise they risk losing the base.
No, this is Miller's time to really capitalise on
they've got the
Ceres'
advantage.
judgment and really push out the
They got 50-50 numbers now.
generator room and really make a difference.
3 max
Like they are
defensive
now on
push
C point.
into C. The SU generator's down. The SU is now vulnerable. Hell, if ever there was a time to put your 2 fluid platoons on the SU generator, now would be it. But it looks like there's too many maxes for
Down to 227 left on the cap, and if they could get there and do some spawn camping, some spawn contain on
Oh,
those
they've
Ceres
got all
guys,
3
it's
capture
over.
points. Miller's got all 3 capture points.
As long
1
as
minute
Miller,
30
like
to
Roland
go.
said then, as long as the Miller guys can spawn trap the NC guys.
NC's getting Charlie back. There's a lot of maxes. Hard to see what's going on. Yeah, they've got their infantries in the points. They've got themselves Charlie, but Bravo and Alpha is still in the hands of Miller. It's 4 minutes to go now for Miller. The important thing is here is Miller can't afford to lose all the capture points. They need to hold on and just stall.
And you were correct about using the super duper fast button inside the battle.
Yeah, well, I did warn you. I may demonstrate if the fight calms down to the viewers.
Miller has been hyper aggressive this whole match, and if they can manage to push forward and get behind those boxes that are on the spawn side of the SCU, they can just spawn Ceres in there, and nothing's going to get past them. If they manage to be really hyper aggressive here, push for the SCU, get their maxes
Well,
behind cover.
Ceres is violently recapturing A. It's a very brutal fight there.
Ceres now resecuring the generator, the SU gen room. Violent sky max push on the little stairs.
Looks like they split up. So the forces that were at the Ickenham Garrison, they've obviously come back and they've assisted in the retake. Yeah, and they've got B. Pushback. Seems like it's plenty of light assault is being used. It's not normally something you would see in, for example, Community Clash or whatnot, because you're limited in numbers. But the light assaults are definitely, when there's so many things going on and so many infantry happening, the light assaults flying in and dropping C4 still works.
Show me what you're made of.
So it looks like all 3 capture points. Nope, 2 capture points are now back in the favour of NC, although for Ceres they are beginning to take the base back. They've managed to get themselves Charlie, but they're being flanked in from behind by Max. Now the thing is, if you're Miller and you're going against Scatter Maxes, right, maybe going anti-infantry guns is the wrong idea. Maybe your Maxes should be taking anti-vehicle guns, purely to kill off Ceres' Maxes. Because if you kill off their Maxes, what are they? They're just basic infantry, aren't they? And your Orions will take care of the rest.
We're approaching that 10-minute mark at the end of this match as well, and I'm starting to wonder if this biolab is ever going to fall in this match, or if we're just going to be basically a back and forth for the next 10 minutes.
No, the problem is that it's to make this go quickly, you need all 3 capture points, 3 minutes, and Ceres are not going to
This
let
is
them...
also on the all call. 10 minutes left in the match. Sorry.
No, just so you guys know, Miller is Venu, and Ceres are NC.
So not Vanu, that Vanu.
Venu. Why? What do you call them? We're not going to have this intellectual discussion about pronunciation.
No, we all know you're Welsh.
Yes, I'm clearly Welsh.
NC seem to have gotten behind them and got a cap going on Econom Garrison. They managed to get some people behind them this time.
And they've actually got it going, right? Okay, so they've got the cap going on for Econom Garrison. Although they've already got a couple of... yeah, there's already a max in the heavy. Resecuring Econom Garrison? Are you going to run on that? No, he's not going to run on that Claymore. Oh. But then he's just got counter-attacked by NC Infiltrator and Max, so small but tenuous hold of the capture point at Econom Garrison by Ceres. They're going to need some assistance here because Miller's coming back with their VS Maxes. And it looks like they're about to kill off the enemy single solo hero Max. God, he's killing a lot of people, that one Max. There we go, he finally goes down as he's outnumbered 3-1. The NC still has the top floor though. What's going on with Econom Triage? As we have a look, nothing. Still in hands of Miller.
Seems like the Ceres guys are making a push for the Econom Garrison. Multiple gal drop.
Yep. Oh, is the point flipping back again? We have to go look. They've certainly pulled fresh vehicles. They've pulled themselves a fresh Air Force. Have to be careful of Miller Skyguards because it looks like a lot of the Ceres Air Force is being flanked, possibly by Burster Maxes from the spawn room.
The Ceres NC have managed to get that cap point back at Econom Garrison, and they seem to be flipping it back in their
squad
favor.
beacon. They've got themselves some vehicles, so yeah, they do have. Looks like they've made a proper successful push.
But it's going to be one of those things where, like you said earlier, Ceres at the moment is just one big air face. They can send all the guys they want to Econom Garrison, however, the
can't afford to do
have
that.
2 entrances still into the base, so they can really push in behind them.
Yeah, so I mean the fact is it's 50-50 in the biolab itself, and it's nearly 50-50 at the Econom Garrison, so it's up to Miller. Do they send any of them they've got from the biolab to maybe defend the garrison? Do they try and send some reinforcements from the Econom Triage to the garrison to defend it? Or do they try and suck in as many NC as possible into the garrison, lure them out of the biolab, and then attack them from the south? But again, I don't think Ceres is going to fall for it. They'll just respond whenever it's necessary. So if the biolab ever became vulnerable, you would probably see the Ceres infantry falling back and then helping defend. Well,
And now Miller has a cap going back on the biolab, so if they can manage to resecure Garrison, the NC
very
can't do anything to it.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of Ceres air. So now that they've managed to push themselves out, they've obviously their air squads is pulled fresh air forces, pinning the Miller infantry in the spawn room so they can't get to the cap point. So it looks like Ceres is definitely going to get Econom Garrison back, but at what cost? I mean, is there going to be a fight on an Econom biolab? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's enough. There's only 1 to 12 bad guys. Well, maybe 12 to 24 now. Econom Triage. And yeah, doesn't look like the biolab's going to go anywhere. It looks like one half of their forces are still fighting over the biolab, while the second half of both teams' forces are fighting over Econom Garrison.
The further those NC get away from their biolab, though, if they don't manage to push both lanes, the VS Miller can go ahead and just pile everyone together on the biolab. And again, it doesn't matter how far down that lane they get.
Miller forces are going, this Venu squadron, they're flanking round to the spawn room of
We're now under
Ceres.
5 minutes remaining in the match.
Well, judging by my clock, it is now 5 minutes, and my stream overlay 5 minutes 33, 32, 31, there.
So I must be 40 seconds ahead of you. Then
Slightly
I started my
ahead,
clock
yeah.
right at the time. Yeah.
But considering there's a clock on the stream, we'll go off that one. Now, Miller managed to get themselves A, but it looks like they're losing it. If I can actually go inside a door. Yep, there's not enough people there. As for Bravo, they lost Bravo. It looks like they've lost all the capture points. If we look at the population numbers again, yeah, so Ceres has got themselves more infantry at the biolab again. As for the Ickenham garrison, the point is actually flipping. What's going on here? They had all this air dominance. Oh wow, they're totally outnumbered now. Have they gone back to the biolab and saved it, and then therefore forsaken Ickenham garrison? It looks like that's exactly what's happened. Big push of Max's, some infantry on the capture point. Looks like the Miller and VS have managed to save Ickenham garrison. But I don't understand. They were being totally suppressed in the spawns, and there was plenty of infantry. I think Ceres maybe overreacted and fell back on the biolab too early.
Ceres seems to, even earlier in this match, they seem to misjudge when to send their forces somewhere else, and they would wind up losing caps or not getting a cap in time because they jumped the gun just a little bit too early, sending those people on somewhere else.
And there was an attempted hack at Ickenham Triage Station, but we're already here, and it looks like a squad has... Come on, Mr. Medic! Don't res the guy when there's a shotgun right behind you! God, that's very bad manners. You're going for the short haul XP, which really doesn't matter on the test server. Doesn't look like there's any spawn left for the NC. Alright, so there's one extremely exposed Sunderer, which, is there any air for the Miller? Okay, so the air's kind of in contention at the moment, so it looks like that Sunderer's going to be safe for now. Ceres can, I guess, push back on the Ickenham Triage Station. They do have the cap point. If we check the numbers, it is roughly even, so there's no reason Ceres can't hold on to it. But it looks like Miller's totally respond to Ickenham garrison, and they've got that under control. They way outpopulate any of the Ceres people.
What is the timer that you have on your stream now?
3 minutes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 minutes to go now.
There's a dot on the all shout. 3 minutes left on the match.
So, judging we've got 3 minutes, it looks like, assuming you can hold on to the capture point, Miller's going to keep Ickenham garrison, unless there's a proper push by Ceres, which looks like they're trying. So Ceres has managed to grab themselves the capture point again at Ickenham garrison. 1 minute 40 till it goes through. They can capture that before the timer runs out, and they cannot capture Ickenham Triage Station because it's 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes 25, and it's 2 minutes 47 for Ickenham Triage. So it doesn't matter about Ickenham Triage. The VS is going to keep that. That's Miller. But what they can do is they can get their hands on Ickenham garrison. Also, another important thing is both hack timers are in contention, which means all of the Miller forces that are currently in Ickenham biolab, there's no point being there. It's totally worthless because you don't have either capture point saved. Now, can Ceres take back the base before the timer runs out? That's the question. Oh, big push from Miller infantry forces across the bridge into the double doors. They've only got about 50 seconds left before this base goes through. Heavy max crash. Oh, this is one big max crash. It does not look like there was enough Ceres forces, despite the medic going in with his C4. Come on, Miller, you need to get an infantry on the capture point. There we go. It's flipping back now in Miller's favour. And the numbers now are again in Miller's favour, and it's still 50-50 Ickenham Triage. We'll go have a look, see if... oh, some fresh reinforcements for Ceres here. Doesn't look like they're going to make any difference. Yep, it's a save by Miller. I'd be very surprised if... Ceres are trying, but it looks like they've got a long run from the Sunder they've deployed to the north. They don't have enough time now. 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go.
Now, as far as Econo Triage is concerned, it's still in NC hands. They got a couple of guys. Looks like there's a fight going on right at the very end at Big Stairs on Econom Triage. Plenty of infantry. There's no maxes, however, for Ceres forces. Plenty of explosives or nades going in from the Miller forces. Looks like they're trying to push up the stairs. One lone engineer in his turret thinking, guys, where'd you all go? Okay, so one res grenade gets everyone back. Looks like Ceres is going to hold, but we're down to the last 20 seconds now.
20 seconds.
Doctor is allowed to call this and let it go a couple of seconds longer if somebody is in possession of a cap point and the cap point is moving towards them. So Econo Triage could go a couple seconds longer and allow NC to cap it.
Oh, that's foul play. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Game's over.
It doesn't on the all shout. That is time. 9 minutes is over. GG.
You can cease fire if you want to, but something tells me they're not going to.
If we can get everyone who was involved in the interviews earlier, could you please make your way to the interview channel, please?
So I guess grats to Miller there. They made a good kind of step forward, not pushing, concentrating on any one lane. You know, north and south, north and south. So it was a good job.
Good game, everyone. Good game.
Nice one.
Well, thanks to you guys.
Right, guys, we're just going to wait till the outfit representatives come into the channel, then we'll start doing the post-game interviews.
Dots, your volume is ridiculously high.
It's fine here.
Maybe I want to be heard.
Oh.
Oh.
Who won?
Miller.
It's not about-
Yay.
Miller.
It's not about the volume, it's about sending a message.
This is why I don't want you casting dots.
Sorry.
Nice work, guys.
Yeah, guys, we're basically going to wait till the reps get here, so I'm just going to do an outfit check. LYF.
Here.
252.
Here.
Here.
Wasp. Wasp.
Butch is here, but his mic's disabled.
Sorry, yeah, I know.
JJ.
Here.
RNX. RNX.
Losing this. Focus out there.
This is why we need like a ding dong handle.
Just
Ding
carry
dong.
on.
RNX to the interview channel,
Can
please.
someone get these Miller sites to stop shooting me?
You realise that they're going to just keep shooting.
RPS, are you here?
No, never.
RPS here.
Here we
or-
go, I'm now hiding
RPS
under a
here.
tree.
Yep. Miller pilots. Miller pilots.
Yep, sorry.
And for Ceres we have.
And I'm here as well.
Yeah, I know you're here. Ceres, Max. BAWC.
Yep.
Vesp.
Yup.
Armis, Renmist.
Yeah, we're here.
UVG.
Yep.
DHMR.
Yep, that's me too.
And Ceres pilots.
Yep.
So I think just RNX are here now.
Yep.
So basically, same as again. Basically, just gonna do the interviews. So starting with the Miller, who was the guy leading the Miller platoons, or
Ulysses.
who was in charge? Who was the go-to guy?
Ulysses, he's on AFK.
Ulysses, he's probably walking his dog like usual. He always goes AFK after a pop, so he might be back soon.
So anybody who wants to comment on how Miller did, then
Well, I can comment for Platoon 2. Definitely hard fight on the southern lane, working with Janji, trying to just basically stop the Ceres guys from pushing up. It was quite a hard fight, very good, but I just didn't really have much communication with Platoon 1, so if anyone wants to pitch in with anything there. But
Did the Miller forces switch swaps? You had two platoons. Were you focusing one platoon on the south lane and another platoon on the north lane, or did you flip back and forth? Did you like platoon 2 go north? And...
Yeah, basically we had the Platoon 1, who's our offensive force. They were basically pushing as hard as they can on the northern lane, whilst Platoon 2, which is ours, was working on a sort of defensive, slowly pushing the southern lane. The idea is we worked out the top lane was the fastest to cap, all single point, and we were worried the most about NC Arsenal. That was our key sort of worry, so we put everything we could to make sure we kept that. And then it's always a yo-yo between the Augur and the Triage. But yeah, we had two platoons for each lane.
Yeah, and the platoon number 1 was led by our Tiger, so I believe he's the best one to say something there.
Yeah, we just it was a good fight between North Cove Post and Liverpool Fortress. There was I think at the start we dropped on Liverpool Fortress just to delay the Vanu, then just pushed on through once we'd secured North Cove Post. And then once we got to Callum Garrison, the Cannon Biolab, the numbers start to, once you've got to that point, you need more numbers, you need numerical superiority to get into the Biolab. So at that point we were just pushing them back and holding them in the Biolab. But yeah, just a good old-fashioned aggressive Miller play.
For the Miller guys, what do you think went wrong? What went right? Did things go to plan, or did things have to change quite drastically from what Force Commander, Platoon Leader originally stated?
Well, in my opinion, it all went as planned. Ulysses had complete control, and yeah.
I think Ulysses as well, so you can put some input.
I'm back now, and it's got to be said,
Doug.
Everything went exactly to plan. That was beautifully executed, Miller. Very, very proud of you all.
Aww. And thank you too, man. That was a brilliant job.
Yeah, fantastic job, Yuli.
So Yuli, seeing that you've finished walking your dog, do you mind giving us the lowdown kind of thing?
Yeah, no problem. We had a tactics discussion on Thursday where we laid out a written plan that I'd made up for this last week. The baseline plan was having a strong stalling force on the north lane, and we'll have a weak force on the south lane, but we'd have NC Arsenal as a fallback point. I was fairly confident that Wasp and Janji on their own could stall up to a platoon at NC Arsenal, but it was an amazing performance by Janji to hold the cap so long at them triage, which allowed us to then push up to the Augur. I think from that point on, Ceres were pretty screwed. I knew the outfits that were contesting the north lane were all good infantry squads, so I was confident that they wouldn't be able to make progress there. I didn't expect the south lane to get past NC Arsenal, to be honest, so when we got to push the garrison, having 30 minutes to cap a biolab, I thought we had the time to do it. There just isn't a lot you can do in terms of giving direction for pushing that biolab. That was an amazing fight by Ceres. Every time we thought we had you, you pushed us out. Really, really good play, guys. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
And over to the Ceres server. Who was leading Ceres, and how did you do things?
I was leading. We had pretty much divided ourselves into an operation leader and various squad leaders. We had the first platoon, which was comprised of strike forces, like the union of two squads. And then we had the second platoon, which had a Jolly squad inside, which was represented by the UVG and the Vinehammer. And then there was most of the pilots there. Then we also had some cool things like wildcards that were supposed to be two-man squads, players that would go rampaging around freely, and they were independent, not relying on any squad leader or anything. They would just have to cause a ruckus somewhere. I don't know what they did, but I'm surely interested in hearing what they have to say afterwards. And as for the gameplay, I think it was pretty solid. I liked it much more than last time, where it was way more one-sided. Also, this time we had a lot of we focused a lot on the air gameplay. But since I was leading, I don't know how it went just well. But to me, it looks like it was kind of balanced. I don't know if you have anything to say about it. I think it was pretty cool, rather than being just one-sided for one side. Maybe it was also nice to see for the spectators. I surely hope so. So yeah, we focused a lot of our efforts in air pilots. I think we had around 36 pilots, maybe, even though surely they wouldn't have been all the time in the air. And then my initial battle plan focused itself on actually forfeiting the NC Arsenal from the start, and I'm kind of happy of hearing that they were really planning on putting up quite the resistance over there, because I knew that. To me, it would have looked like a waste of effort if we were to reroute people over there, because I don't think so that we would have much chances to get it. So I think we did a fine job in focusing on the north lane, which is also more interesting in the way of bases and fight, like going from North Grove to Lidcorp forth and back. So in the end, I'm pretty proud of what we did, especially from my squad leaders and their efficiency in redeploying and listening to my orders. We tried something with just one platoon, one op leader, and I think I got some good experience and also some cool ideas for the next one. I wouldn't know what more to say. Just thank you to everyone that participated in this, especially my squad leaders. Thank you guys, and well played.
Just wondering from a Ceres side, as I know the Miller side, how's the platoon leading experience over on Ceres? I know we've got quite a lot of platoon leader experience in Ulysses, but Tora, could you have much experience with dealing with large numbers, a platoon, like multiple platoon size of people?
No, something like this. It was something new
Definitely
entirely.
learning
And
experience.
I don't know if you have heard anything about us, but in the past week, we've came more than just one time on your server, and we would have just sided in one faction. And we tried out this. Yeah. We tried this kind of communication, and it was definitely an experience. In order to gather some experience to lead such forces, only an event like this one could have given me all the instruments and the war experience in order to reproduce this better the next time. So
yeah, I hope you guys got some experience from it, you learned whatever you need to, and you're going to come back even stronger, which
yeah,
be nice
absolutely.
To see.
Do you feel that your last game against Cobalt really influenced your planning and how you acted?
Well, actually, in the Cobalt event, I was barely a squad leader. We had a very different command structure, and we kind of put a huge overhaul to that. And I think the efforts paid out tonight. I think you liked it as the opponent. Yes, you won and you pushed us back to the biolab, but I like to think that it wasn't just the scat maxes in the biolab to make the difference, but I think we did good on our end. Also, the first part of the match was pretty balanced, I guess.
I do have one question to both platoon leaders. How did you guys find these lanes? This is the first time we've used these lanes, the first time we've used kind of an offset major facility. Do you think the lanes played well? And how is it compared to the last lanes you used?
At the first impression, I think it was perfect. The only maybe malus is the facilities themselves, that they are different. And one is an AMP with the new layout, and the other is a biolab that maybe might be sound to someone, I don't know, a bit too difficult to capture maybe. But I don't know. Even if we manage to get to the AMP station, I feel it would have been maybe just as hard as getting the biolab itself, because they're like a Charlie Point. It's such a small room, and you can camp it with the AV grenades, and you will simply obliterate everything into it very easily. Maybe even easier than just cleaning one point from the biolab. So I don't know. The lane itself is pretty solid. I liked it. The bases are good. The NC Arsenal maybe sounds like a clusterfuck where you're not going out of there. But since we didn't fight there, I can't really say anything. But the lane was good for me. I don't know for the other platoon leader.
Anything from your side, Julie?
The only thing I'd say is I'd like to have been a mirror for the target final station. And even numbers biolab, you've got to really outclass your opposition. And at the level of play we're playing at here, with this many numbers, even if you're slightly better than the opposition, which I'm not saying we were, but if you're slightly better, you're not going to win it. You have to really outclass them. So, if we could have,
can we have Nexus, please? Nexus, please. Yeah. Cheers, GG, thanks. Okay, that's it.
And how is it for you?
So yeah, I'd rather have played the lane that was it Waterson and Matheson played, where they both had amp stations to defend.
Okay.
Don't end up in biolabs is my advice next time.
It is our test season, and we can't really slate into it right at least. So
definitely, I mean, 30 minutes to take a biolab is enough on live servers. There's even numbers, but to be fair, it was a really good fight in there. So hopefully there was lots of people being fragged. We had some really good flank moves that came off towards the end. So it's a good place to have a fight, and you hopefully you're not going to miss much of the action because it's so confined too.
I don't want to interrupt you, but just a suggestion. Why don't you ponder about making a King of the Hill style gameplay like at the Ascent?
We
Oh,
are looking
yeah.
at something like that again, and it'd be more of a style that we did with the original ServerSmash game, which
Okay.
was the versus Connery, where we had a third faction, and it would be a race to capture the middle again. A King of the Hill would be interesting to see, and
But domination
it's
rather than just capturing it first. Like keep the Ascent for 10 minutes straight.
It's definitely one of the modes we've been looking at, and we are looking to implement that once we get the rules solidly set out.
Yeah, just because of what he said, I share his concern about the Bila being a clusterfuck as well. And the lane with the AMPs is, I think it's solid, but maybe it's not that fun. So there aren't many options, I believe. So yeah, King of the Hill is one.
So then, guys, for the guys who want platoon leading, the average members from both servers, anyone want to have any feedback on what you thought, what you think we could improve this, and that kind of thing? And
From a sort of LIF perspective, this was our first time ever taking part in this sort of operation. We had an amazing time. We really, really enjoyed ourselves, and we are so looking forward to the next one. No real criticism from us. I think that worked really well, and everyone played really well, and we enjoyed playing with everyone, even 252. It's just like to say a big thank you to everyone.
Would I be able to just say really quick, what is the test season? What's the other bases that you've tested already or are looking to test in the future, if any?
We have used all dual lanes on Amerish now.
Right.
We've used the Centre of Hossen when it was limited, and we are looking at other lanes to try and bring gameplay and new maps so we can put it through the testing season, see if it's worthwhile hitting certain lanes when we actually go into more of a detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the air perspective, this was a lot more fun than last time when we were on Miller. I was leading the one of the air squads of Miller, by the way. We had 2 air squads up. Last time when we fought against Connery, of course it was on Hossen, which was an entirely different scenario, but we had a lot of trees and low flight ceiling there. And for us, this was very, very epic. This air fight went on for over an hour between Ceres. I heard they had 3 squads up against our 2 squads. The flight ceiling is much higher, and it was just much more fun to establish air dominance than on Hossen. So it's definitely something to consider and keep in mind when you have a balanced ground play as well.
Right, guys, I think that's going to be the end of our interviews, so it doesn't end up being dragging on. Basically, any feedback you've got for the Twitch guys in the chat and the guys on this TeamSpeak, just go to our website. I posted in the Twitch chat and on TeamSpeak. Join the website, go on the forum, give us your feedback, tell us how to make this better. It is a community effort, so it won't get better without your feedback. I'd like to thank both the Miller guys and the Ceres guys for turning up and playing. I hope there wasn't that many crashes compared to the other games. I only crashed once myself, so hopefully it's a sign of good things to come. Basically, just give a look out for. Sorry, you look forward to is your other matches to play. If you're not sure when your server is playing, if you look at the bottom, you'll see a channel called ServerSmash Dates, somewhere on this TeamSpeak. Or look at the website, you'll find them there. Get training like you have been doing, sort yourself out, reconfirm matches for the outfits, go see your relevant server reps for all servers. And I think Romance wants to speak about tonight's pickup, which is going to be in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes on this TeamSpeak. Everyone's invited. It's a public pickup. If you're on the Twitch chat now, you're going to come and join us for the public pickup. Just come on this TeamSpeak. I'll post the IP in about a minute or so, but I'm going to hand over to Romance.
Just before Romance
picks
it off,
just talk about tonight.
Just before Romance, just before you pick it off, as always, we've done a shout out for this. Massive shout out to Anycast as well, guys. Follow them. You will get a little notification whenever they go live. They don't just cast for us. They also do Comclash. They do scrims. So if you ever want to see what's happening. Follow Anycast, guys. Also, a big shout out to Redolent as well, who has stepped up to be our host of this with Lanzer away. So, massive shout out, Redolent. And yeah, Remus.
So yeah, tonight's pickup will be in 10 minutes. We'll be doing open ground warfare between the bases because that's what people have been asking. Go see the beautiful nature of Araxis. Yeah, let's have some fun. That's pretty much it. 10 minutes, be at the pickup lobby.
Brilliant. Farah, anything to add from Innie?
Nope. Thanks for guys watching, guys. Check in next week where we will have a match of EU versus America. We'll have Connery from the West, which, if I'm not mistaken, there are a couple of devs there. I dare you to come play with us, without God mode, of course. So it will be Connery West versus Cobalt EU. The numbers will be increased from 96 versus 96 to 240 versus 240. Are you mad? Do you know how hard it is to cast 96 versus 96? Right, okay, it's fair enough. I see how it is. You just want to give me a heart attack. So, by all means, guys, turn in next week. It is 9 PM GMT. Now, understand if you're in the UK, that'll be British summer time, so it's technically going to be 10 o'clock UK time. It will be 11 o'clock Central European time, and it's going to be 2 PM Pacific time for Connery. So figure the time out for yourself, but it's on the stream, you can see it now. And with that, we're going to end up, and we'll see you guys next week. Alright, cheers guys, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.